What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We've got another amazing video for you today. If you're new to the channel, my name is Austin Silver. I'm the co-owner of ASFX. I appreciate you being here. What we're talking about today is turning trading losses into trading lessons. Now, this is something you've probably heard from many traders, especially the guys that have been in the game for a long time. They turn their losses into things that can help them improve in the future. And I think that's true for anyone successful in any industry. But what we're going to focus on today is how the Black Shirt Club and the daily report cards that we give you when you join the Black Shirt Club, how they can help you track these mistakes and make those improvements and really turn the losses into lessons. So I got Tom and James here with me this morning. Tom's going to turn his screen share on. Most of you guys know them. If you don't know them, these two fellows are the guys that are helping me in the Black Shirt Club with the coaching program. So make sure you follow them. Twitter, Instagram, I'll put the links in the description. But Tom, I know we're going to be talking about your daily report card here this morning. We're talking about a day that what did you say when we were about to start the recording? You were like, I got to reminisce on some painful memories, because this was a day you came in hot off a couple of wins and quickly got humbled by the market, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a day I was trying to forget, but all the memories have been flooded back. So not a bad thing. Not a bad thing.
Of course. And I think, like, as we go through this, people really want to see the daily report card. This, guys, when you join the Black Shirt Club, you get your own copy of this. It's called the Trader Improvement Workbook. The spreadsheet is automated, so it can do a lot of the tracking for you. Specifically, Tom, can you throw us to the habit log so we can show them how you kind of populate this thing? I think that that's really important to start before we get into the day-to-day. So you'll see here, everybody, he has his pre-market routine on the left. The trading errors, those 15 right there in the middle, they're the most important thing for today's video, along with the column to the right, the off the charts habits. Because what Tom is going to show us is, because of him not getting his habits done, he ended up making more trading errors than he normally does. Now, by tracking those trading errors, he brings awareness to them and is able to not repeat them going forward. I would think for everyone that's using a tracking system like this, the first step of progress is gaining that sense of awareness, right, James? I feel like even for you, as we were talking about Monte Carlo and stuff this morning, you're becoming more aware of your risk reward ratio, your high win rate, and you're thinking, how can I maximize that? I feel like that conversation, I've been working with you for 2 years, bro. It's never happened. But now with these daily report cards, you tracking your own thing, you're getting more analytical, right? Isn't that it?
100%. Yeah. These things just make you think on how you can always be improving in which aspect. There's always a little aspect that you can improve your trading on. Whether you're making money, it doesn't matter.
I was just going to say that. Even on days like recently, I've been doing really well. I've been making money, but I can still do better. You can still do better. So I feel like tracking everything is how you figure that out. So Tom, take us through now. Everybody sees the habit tracker. That's going to be what they fill out when they join the Black Shirt Club. Take us through the daily report card of this gold trade that kind of threw your week for a little bit of a loop here.
Yeah. So first of all, we've got you can see here on the, what is your main objective for the day? So before every trading day, I fill this in, and you can see that I came into the day pretty confident. And I know overconfidence has been something that can bite me at times. I'd come off a bit of a streak. I'd won 5 out of my last 6 trades. So I then put in here that I needed to remain diligent and only take high probability trades. And I felt like I did that at the start. So I took my first trade of the day on UCAD, which was an A grade setup. And it ended up being a loser, which was okay because I felt like I'd followed my rules. It was the first time in a while where I'd done everything by the book. I'd got the A grade trade. I got the stop in the right place. I executed it absolutely to perfection because, like you say, when you're tracking your trading errors, you can very quickly identify whether you're not sizing up enough, whether you're exiting too late, etc. So yeah, like I say, I felt like I executed UCAD very, very well. Mm-hmm. But then that's when things started to unravel, when that losing trade happened.
Do you think that that's because coming in almost on the high of the overconfidence allows you to then, when you take the loss, it feels almost worse than a regular loss, right? Because you came in expecting to win almost, maybe subconsciously.
So upon reflection, I think, yes, I probably struggled to accept that loss. It's almost as if, like, I have to be right. I knew I've been right 5 out of 6 times. I can't be wrong. I'm on this streak. So there's definitely an element of that, I think. And that's where overconfidence in the past has humbled me. I know it can happen. So fully aware of it. And I'm only aware of it because of these daily report cards. The whole idea of the daily report card in the way that we have structured it in the Black Shirt Club is to force that reflection, and that's build on that self-awareness that's so important to improve your trading. This is asking you all of the pertinent questions that get you to reflect on your performance on and off the charts.
Yeah. The interesting thing that you said there about this trade is that you should have not been worried about being right and continuing the streak. You should have just been kind of zoomed out. The overconfidence, while it can lead to that dip in emotion, and then you end up feeling that I got to be right, I got to find another trade, or I got to get back in, maybe you chase it, whatever it may be. I think there is a balance though, and I'm curious to know both of your opinion on this, is the balance between confidence and overconfidence. It's a very thin line, because I think you do need to be confident and believe in yourself and believe in your system if you're going to trade and execute properly, to get in at the right time with the right size. That takes confidence. But I think it's like you said, the overconfidence is where we run into normally some issues. Wouldn't you agree? Like, you still got to have enough confidence.
Go for it, Tom.
Yeah. So like you've just said, it's an extremely fine line, and it's the fine line between, like you say, confident and arrogant, and
that's it.
Yeah. Tom, what made you actually go on tilt taking that gold trade after having the UK loss? What was your post?
Yeah, we got to get into the gold trade now, right? Because now so can you show us the UK trade real quick, Tom? Can we see that?
Yeah, so I can bring up the UK trade. Let me bring that up. So you can see here, it was a D1 long. Yeah. We had a really good discussion. Me and you, Austin, had a discussion. So not necessarily a challenge from you, but you like said, look, I feel like it's in a bit of a range. I was like being very binary. It met the rules, etc. You can see that it was a D1. I didn't have any knocks against it, so I took the trade. Because that's my style.
I challenged you because it's UCAD, and I hate.
I remember.
UCAD. And I also think it's kind of funny. You see this today, as on this day, you're drawing that diagonal line, almost showing that it's in like a wedge with a bottom. And I saw this on that day when you said it to me. I saw it just ranging from the high after the Asian session. I wasn't even really looking at the previous day. Now compare that to today on Bitcoin, the day of us filming this. You drew that box on Bitcoin, and I saw Bitcoin in the wedge. So we literally can see the same analysis on two different pairs at two different times. We both are. It's just so interesting that you can have that different perspective. We all have that different perspective. But I think that this is still overall a really, really good setup. I just had that beef with the pair. Okay. Did me challenging you maybe lead you to going off tilt and then taking the gold trade, do you think?
No, that didn't. Okay. But it probably made me sit back and reflect a bit more, which is why in the Black Shirts Club, it's really good trading with people that aren't afraid to not necessarily like challenge you but call you out and say, look, maybe we could have done this better. Every day, people are just trying to push us to be better, whether that's you pushing me or me pushing you, James pushing some of the other traders, however it happens. That's the benefit of trading with like-minded people that want to get better.
Well said.
And so, I appreciated that. And at the time, maybe it got my back up a little bit, maybe potentially, but it definitely didn't lead me to going on tilt or anything like that.
Good. I'm glad definitely I didn't influence you that bad. So go back now, show us the gold trade, tell everybody, explain like how it happened. And then maybe let's tie this into the reflection at the end of the day to turn this first loss and then this second trade into a lesson, because now the lesson from the first trade was really nothing. You executed well, like you followed, maybe we can challenge you on the pair, maybe that's it. But from the jump, it was a good setup. It fit the rules. It was something that you can justify being in for sure. So then now you mentally take that loss, and that psychologically allows you to go and start looking for more, because Tommy wants to be right. Tommy boy wants that back scratch, wants that back rub, make sure I'm right today, I'm smart. It's so interesting how our ego shows up and tries to come out of us in our trading,
It's exactly what happened. And I've got it in here, the entry reason. So you can see a second trade of the day. And I've put it, I was looking for a trade at this point. I knew I was, and I could feel it. I knew it. I'd been on the desk for 8 hours. I got to the desk early that day. I was on there working at sort of 6 a.m. because I was looking at Black Shirts Club stuff, getting things ready for that.
Yep.
And it broke my rule. I didn't get off the desk between sessions. And I know this from my sports trading days. I need, after probably 4 hours max, I need to just get off the desk, let my brain recharge, and come back fresh. I have to do it. It's got me in trouble so many times in the past that if I continue to do it, my decisions get worse as the day goes on.
It makes sense, bro. We spoke about this morning. We were talking just like the deteriorating effect of using your brain energy and then trying to make accurate and quick decisions over and over and over again. Like you're using brain energy. I was telling Scott, like sometimes people try to get a head start on their week and they start doing too much on a Sunday. Those are the people that are normally burnt out by Thursday, because they're plugging at it so many hours. By the end of the week, you need a full break. So I think it's good to give yourself that break during the day. Like, me, 12 o'clock, where am I at? Every day.
Yep.
Yeah. Like that's how it is. James takes his break basically when I'm waking up because that's lunchtime for him. Everybody, I think, needs that separation. Because you would say, bro, as we know, most people that do well in trading come from either a very disciplined background, the service, sports, athletics, things like that. And all of those people know the value in rest, whether it's from working out or playing with it, like the value in recovery,
Yeah. And I didn't. And again, not blaming anybody other than myself, because I should just get up and walk away at times. And I do find this difficult because, as you just alluded to there, as you're waking up and the US guys are waking up and the Black Shirt Club chat is popping off. Everyone's in the live chat. We're all streaming. We're all trading. I don't want to leave because the buzz is back in at that point again. Right. And sometimes I stay longer than I should.
Yeah.
And this particular day, I got myself into a little bit of trouble, and I tried to find a trade that best fit with the ASFX systems at the time. And looking back, I got the bias right. My entry was just a little bit early. I oversized. Yeah.
So Tom, I wanted to ask. So as we can see, that was on a Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. How do you come back? Because obviously you still have 2 more trading days. How do you come back from on Thursday and Friday? How do you, like, obviously we got our evening time. That's when the markets are moving. How do you come back with a fresh mindset? Explain that process to us.
And the reflection, Tom, too, if you could talk about like the bottom part of the checklist too, I think would go hand in hand with that.
So I can. So I actually composed myself and took the third trade of the day in. I think Austin was in a trade as well. Austin was streaming this day, I believe, and we took GU short. I think I've got it on my daily report card. We can have a look after, and I executed that trade really, really well.
Yep.
It was just this bit in the middle which I didn't execute well. And you can see here, I remember it. You looking at the ASFX systems will know this very well. It's not a bad idea. I was looking for a D1 short, but it was obviously off the 21 and off this structure zone. I was thinking that it could pretty much hold this. We've got the bearish divergence on the 1 minute. We had the 50 EMA retest. The only thing was it wasn't off the 50 EMA, which we all know D1 is. I like to take mine off there, and you can see that this just dropped. I was just a little bit early on the entry, and I missed both of the good entries. So there was 2 A2 short because I took the loss literally 5 minutes before. If I'd have took the A2 loss, it ripped way past ADR.
The timing,
by that point, I puffed and I lost 0.75 because I had a bit of slippage in there. And I walked away. And because I was early and I took an off-edge trade, I missed the on-edge trade.
Right. That's good. Okay. Go back to the workbook, please. Go to the bottom. Explain now that I think that answers James' question. So now answer my question. Like, you got back on tilt to say to James, like, all right, I didn't need to reset fully that day. I was able to come back and execute the third trade and make money on the third trade and trade it well. So then at the end of the day, when you do the reflection, how do you turn this day where there is a loss? And how do you not just say, oh, fuck it, I just will try not to do that again? How do you actually turn that into a lesson? And maybe speak on how the Black Shirt Club can help with that for someone that is listening to this and wondering, like, I continue to make repeated trading mistakes and I can't stop doing it.
So the first of all is tracking these errors. Well, I suppose going back even further, part of me didn't even want to do it that day. I didn't want to reflect.
That's how you know it was a bad day, bro.
I was like, do you know what? Well, and so this is the point. I didn't. Really, if I'm being completely honest, on the charts, I didn't journal in real time. I didn't do the generate any manual ideas. I didn't send it in before the next day. So one of my on the chart rules is I have to send my daily report card to the Black Shirt Club before 12 the following day. I didn't do it because I was like, no, do you know what? I'm not going to do it. But then I was like, no, that's wrong. And people in the Black Shirt Club will hold me accountable.
Yep. Damn right, bro. Damn right. Oh, did Tom lag out?
Oh, it lagged out. Yeah.
Oh, Tommy, with the lag on the Zoom. All right, everybody. So we're just going to kind of patch the rest of this up for Tom. I don't know why. The UK internet connection just hates our Zoom calls sometimes. But so far, hopefully you guys are starting to understand, like, it's about tracking everything to see what leads to the mistake, to then really turning the mistake into a lesson, right, James? That's the point that we're trying to get across. And I think also, and James will agree with me, I know on this one, you'll find that often all of you are doing things well, but you're doing things that are also costing you money. So with a report card that is comprehensive like this and working with people like me, James, and Tom, this is where you'll have the accountability, as Tom just said before he lagged out, to have to post it, to have to do that review. And then with that having to do it, you instantly bring awareness to it, which helps you not repeat it. So just showing up, it's just like yoga. It's just like the gym. Just show up for that review and you can make a big difference. And then the Black Shirt Club can really make a difference for you as well, because you're surrounded by full-time traders, guys that have been doing that and have that a part of their daily, it's in their blood, like me, Tom, and James. And I think that'll elevate the game for you as well, because you'll see where you can grow into. You'll see shoes that you can grow into. Does that cover it pretty much, James?
Yeah. 100%. I just wanted to add as well. It's like, when you play professional sports, you go past and you look at the games and see how you can improve. It's the same thing with trading.
Same thing.
Yeah. And I think that's the great thing about the Black Shirt Club. We're always pushing each other to be a little bit better every single day.
Well said, bro. So for everybody watching, if you want to join the Black Shirt Club, we do this 12-week mentorship program throughout the year. September's program is almost full at the time of filming this. So we're probably going to be looking to add you watching this right now into the January or April's program next year in 2023. We only do this for 15 people at a time. So if you'd like to join or you want more information, there's 2 links in the description. One will take you to our website with more information. The other link, you can book a call with me for free. I'll hop on and answer any questions you guys have. But we appreciate you being here. We hope you found some value seeing the review on how to turn losses into lessons. And we hope to see you guys looking into and joining the Black Shirt Club with us very soon. Thank you, James. I appreciate you. And Tom, we love you, bro. Even with the lag, we still love you.